Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Elemental Podcast. So today I'm going to be talking about the power of practice. So whether that's a morning practice, an evening practice, a throughout the day practice, doesn't really matter. I specifically like to do my practices in the morning, just when I've woken up, when it's the first thing that I'm doing in the morning. What I've really learned, the power of practice is to be in service to yourself before being in service to other people. So that's why I think it's the best to do it in the morning. So you're fresh, you've come up, you've woken up, and then you're immediately in service to yourself before going about your day and, helping others or going to work or doing whatever. I think that having a morning practice is so important for setting up your day, for being more mindful, for having clarity, calmness, grounding, to bring that into your day. So having it first thing in the morning, I think, is the most profound, or has the most profound effect on your day and your well-being. This is speaking from personal experience and from what I've heard in podcasts, videos, what I've talked to people about. Having a solid morning practice is really going to give you a solid start to the day. And a lot of what I speak from is my personal experience, but I do also a lot of research, and I also listen to a lot of podcasts. And a lot of the people that are successful, a lot of these people that are really like kicking ass in life, they have a pretty solid practice, and they're doing this as a daily thing. It's not just once a week or here or there. It's a daily practice that they show up for, that they show up for themselves, to be able to really step into your power, to kick ass in life, to really step up your game, to approach life, your day with mindfulness, presence, and just a fucking good attitude to life, let's say that, before you interact with other people. Because a lot of the time people wake up with an alarm, and they get up and they just get straight into the day, and then they fuck off to work, and then usually they approach the day with maybe not so much mindfulness. Maybe they're getting a little bit more reactant or triggered or this or that, usually because there's not a time that you set for yourself in the mornings where you're being in service to yourself. So when I talk about morning practice, I will specify a little bit more. So also a morning practice is, for a man especially, I'm speaking from my own experience, a man or masculine energy is very driven, it's very action orientated. So it's doing, and I would say it's very beneficial to have that structure in your life as a man, to be able to show up for yourself, and having that where you can get up and you can show up for yourself and do a practice, or step into your power, basically, where you commit to something and have that solid structure of being like, okay, for me, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna do my meditation practice. So now I'm gonna go into a little bit about what I do as my morning practice. I meditate in the morning, and I do yoga, I do shaking, and I do journaling. So sometimes I do all of these things, or I do one of them, or I do a couple of them. It kind of varies depending on kind of what I feel is more present in me in that moment, and what I feel needs to come out, what I need to tap into. But generally I have some kind of movement-based practice in the morning, along with journaling and meditation, or I do it with some shaking. Really depends what is kind of flowing through me in that moment and what is present. Meditation has been a big one for me. Meditation, if you haven't got some form of meditation practice, whether it's in the morning, the evening, throughout the day, I think you're basically just setting yourself up for living to your full potential, to being stuck too much in your head. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools that we have access to, that I have access to in this world, for creating more calmness, more clarity, more mindfulness in your day. If you know how to bring yourself back to your awareness in your body, if you can take yourself out of all the chaos that's in your surroundings, in your mind, and come back to your breath, to your awareness, to your presence, if you can do that throughout the day, maybe it's only 5 minutes in the morning, maybe it is 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Maybe you haven't got any meditation practice at all, and 5 minutes is just going to be a perfect place for you to start. Doesn't really matter. Just having any kind of meditation practice is going to dramatically change your life. Trust me, I've been meditating for quite a while now. I've even done a meditation teacher training course. I really had a fucking busy monkey mind. I still do a lot of the time, but the main reason I really got into meditation was to try and calm my thoughts down, to try and get into my body more, to try and not get caught up too much in my head, and also improve my memory, improve my presence throughout the day. So this is why I got into meditation, and it became a daily practice for me, and I saw how much it impacted my life. Like, my focus is 10 times better, my memory is better, my presence just with everything that I do is better since doing meditation. So I'm not going to go too much deeper into that, but meditation is the key, is one of my biggest morning practices that I put into my life, into my daily routine. Whether it's guided or you're just sitting in silence, there's so many different free meditations on YouTube, Spotify, whatever. There's apps, there's Headspace. I use the Headspace app for a long time. That's a really good place to start if you've never meditated before. But in general, if you don't have a meditation practice, I highly recommend tapping into that. That is going to dramatically change your life. And I've even got a meditation in the podcast. It's grounding meditation. It's there somewhere. Have a look, have a listen, jump on there and check it out. My second morning practice is shaking, and this is something I've done before. I also guide it in my movement sessions when I'm guiding groups or couples or one-on-one sessions. Shaking is literally one of the most simple forms of releasing tension, reducing anxiety, reducing stress, reducing the impact of external factors on your life. And it's literally as easy as it sounds, shaking. All you do is stand there on the floor with preferably barefoot. You just plant your feet into the floor, connection with your heel and toes into the floor, and you just start to slowly bounce at the knees, so just bouncing up and down, and the top half of your body is just completely loose, just like this. You're just shaking, and your shoulders are loose, your hands are loose, everything is loose. Up here you're bouncing at the knees, your feet are connected to the earth. And I would say start at like 5 minutes and work your way up. I was starting at like a couple of minutes. Now I'm doing about 15 minutes a day or something like that. And trust me, it sounds very simple, but it is very profound, and it literally will just start to feel like weight, like heaviness is just kind of falling off your body. Maybe you have, some tension within your body. Maybe there's some blockages going on. Maybe you feel like there's some emotions or feelings kind of stuck or bottled up inside. Shaking is an absolutely beautiful way to release this tension, to really just discharge, to really just let energy flow more freely through your body. Along with that, I use breath and sound, so it can be like fast breath, but recommending a slow breath. So a slow inhale through the nose and then slow exhale through the mouth. And sounding as well, so letting out sound. And maybe you're in a household and it's like very early in the morning or something, and the people are asleep, so obviously you don't want to yell and scream, but you can just sigh it out, you know. And if you have the space and the room and whatever, then feel free to let out as much noise as you can. Stick your tongue out of your mouth, stretch your jaw, like all this kind of stuff. It's a beautiful practice, and it will just, yeah, you'll start to feel the differences. Maybe not at first, but if you bring it into your daily routine, you will start to notice some kind of changes happening in there. And if you really visualize things just falling off your body, emotions, stress, anxiety, just releasing and letting go, if you really combine that with the breath and the sound and the shaking and the visualization, sounds like a lot, but it's not. You're literally just standing there with your feet in the earth and shaking, like this. Give it a go. It's a beautiful one. I highly recommend it. It has very profound effects. Maybe some stuff comes up inside you. I've led this in workshops before, and trust me, unexpected things can come up. So expect the unexpected. People have cried, people have had stuff about traumas and triggers come up of certain things, and it's very profound what can happen once you start to shake and use sound and movement and all of this kind of stuff combined. It can have massive effects on you, and it can have like a massive release effect where things just come up, and then they will just start to just shake them loose. Shake those things you've been hanging on too long for, yeah? All right, so first one, meditation. Second one, shaking. Third one that I do is yoga. So I'm also a yoga teacher, so I'm pretty into the yoga world. I love my yoga practice. I do it every day as much as I can. Maybe it's only 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much time I have in my schedule. But either way, I love to bring into some kind of movement into my practice, whether it is like strict yoga poses or it's just stretching and moving my body. It helps me just bring me into my body. It helps my body. There are so many benefits of yoga. Like, I'm not going to go into all of it, but having some kind of movement-based practice in the morning, whether it's you're working out, whether you're just stretching, whether you're doing yoga, whether, whatever it is, just some kind of movement-based practice in the morning where you're not just getting up first thing in the morning, slamming breakfast, and then going to work. There's so much more you can bring into your life and your daily routine if you're not just getting up and going straight to work. If you commit yourself to practices, then it's going to start to change your life. You're starting to show up for yourself in a different way. And yeah, movement-based practice, whether it's yoga, going to the gym, whatever, getting into your body, working out in some way, shape, or form is very important. Okay, so 1, meditation. 2nd one, shaking. 3rd one, yoga or movement-based practice. 4th one, and this is a big one, this has massively changed my life, and it is journaling. And I don't mean journaling in the sense of being like, yesterday I ate some fruit and I did this and this is what happened in my day and blah, 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 blah. Like, not writing about your specific experience in one day. I'm talking about journaling about what is present or alive in you in that moment. So I like to do 3 pages. The morning pages, I call it. I actually got this practice from a book called The Artist's Way. If you've never read it, it's a great book to read. Anyway, the practice is the morning pages. So even if you're sitting there, because some people are like, fuck, I can't write 3 pages worth of stuff. That's cool. If you can't think of anything, just write, I can't think of anything to write. My mind is blank. Blah, 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 blah. Literally write whatever is coming into your mind, and that will start to bring up the juicy stuff. And even if you're just putting your mind chatter, your busy mind, all the crap that's on your mind onto paper, the more often you do this, the more these useless thoughts, these empty thoughts are going to start to quiet. They're going to start to, they're not going to be as present. And the stuff that has more depth to it, more juiciness, more realness, more stuff that you can actually use in your life, that stuff will start to come up. And if it starts to reoccur and you see it, in your writing more and more and more, then maybe, creative ideas come to the surface, artistic things. And I noticed with myself, like once all the mindless chatter bullshit is on the paper, then all of a sudden creative things start to come up. So ideas for work, or maybe I'm trying to build a show, or whatever it can be, all the good stuff starts to come up once all the other crap is out of your head, basically. And this, in combination with meditation and some movement practice, this is going to really fucking start to change your life. I'm speaking from my own personal experience. Journaling alone was more powerful than meditation for me. Combining it with meditation and a movement practice, you're setting yourself up for having a beautiful fucking day. Just quietening your mind, getting into your body more, like really developing more of a connection with your body and what's really alive in you in that moment. And it's going to help you develop a better connection with what's going on in the rest of your body, basically. And yeah, that's basically it. That's what I'm doing at the moment. And I've started introducing cold showers into my daily routine, because I'm actually doing a course at the moment from a friend of mine, and he brought cold showers to light for me. I used to do them a little bit here and there, but now I'm just starting with cold shower and I'm finishing with cold shower. And that's a beautiful journey as well. So maybe that's in your practice. Either way, these are just some of the tools that I'm using, and I feel the power of them. Like I really feel that me just showing up for myself in the mornings has created huge changes in my life. So yeah, whether it's the cold shower as well, like maybe you have your own practices already, maybe you've heard of some other stuff, just start to implement them, see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you. If things are, maybe seeming like they are a little bit too difficult or it's uncomfortable or whatever, it's usually your brain trying to take the easy way out. When there's discomfort, usually your brain is like, hey, this is not cool, it's not very comfortable, this is stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit. It's going to be like, you don't want to do that. It's going to want to take the easy way out. So your mind is a great thing, but it can also be your worst enemy sometimes in trying to just pull you out when shit gets tough. So you have to really work past that little mindset. Because I've done it many times also with shaking, it's like, hey, you've done 4 minutes, let's just stop now. In my head, I'm like, no, let's go 1 more minute. And then it's like, yeah, okay, you've done 5 minutes now, let's stop now because maybe this is too much. And then I'm like, nope, I said I'm going to do 15 minutes. And it's like this constant little battle going on with your mind, with my mind. So it's actually a beautiful thing to witness, to experience, like this little battle that goes on with your head, and to see how you can work through it and and then eventually it will slowly just start to be like, hey, this is actually not that fucking bad. Let's go for longer. So you are conditioning yourself to step outside your comfort zone more often, voluntarily. And then when the things in life start to come at you, the problems, all the bullshit and all the worries, they're not going to affect you that much or at all, because you've already put yourself through discomfort voluntarily, and you know how to react to things. Like, hey, unless someone is physically, beating you, then these things don't really have to kind of affect me that much. They don't have to impact me. I don't have to react on them because, hey, this external thing is fucking annoying me, but I know, okay, if I just take a breath and come back to it, it's like, that will pass. That will soon pass. And you can't control your outside world at all, really. And it's more about controlling your inside world, how you react to things, how you stay present in the face of things that are annoying you, things that are, triggering you, things that bring up stuff inside you. So the more you become aware of yourself through these practices, the more you're going to start to transform and really step into your power more, basically, and how you approach life and how you react to life, and become less reactant to all the bullshit that you don't have to be reactant to. So I know I went on for a little bit here, 21 minutes that's probably the longest episode I've done so far. I like to talk, I like to ramble on, so this is also why I'm putting it onto the podcast. You don't have to watch my face for the next 22 minutes. You can listen to me on a podcast while you're going to work or driving or whatever it is that you do in your day. But anyway, I just thought I would share that morning practices, if you have them, beautiful, keep doing them. If you don't, fucking start doing something. Start taking control of your life. Start creating practices that bring more healthy habits into your life. It will start creating new, beautiful things, a deeper connection with your body. The relationship that you have with your body is just continuous. You have to keep doing it, and then you can work from there, and that will ripple into your life. It will ripple into your relationships, your friendships, all the different interactions you have in your life. Like, the more you work on becoming the best fucking version of yourself, the more you're just going to radiate this light, and you will start to notice changes within all aspects of your life. Speaking from my own personal experience, right? So, let's just go over those again. Meditation, shaking, yoga, or movement-based practice, and journaling. These are the 4 things that I implement in my life, and now a little bit of cold showering. You don't have to do all of these. Try one at a time. Try smaller amounts at first, 5 minutes here, whatever, doing it. Some people have less time in the morning, some people have more time, whatever. If you find you have no time in the morning, go to bed earlier and wake up earlier. So many people are like, I don't have time in the morning, I have to do this and that and that. I highly recommend just going to bed earlier and waking up like 15 minutes early and doing some kind of practice. It will fucking change your life, okay? I'm going to put some stuff, like a more summarized version of this, in the show notes. Either way, bring a morning practice into your life, or an evening practice, or just any kind of practice where you're showing up for yourself, where you're committing to a practice, where you are just dedicated to making yourself a better fucking human being, so the rest of the world can benefit from the light that you are shining. All right. Much love to you. Have a beautiful day or night or whatever it is. Ciao.